Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Ladies and gentlemen, to the organizers, conference presenters, conference participants, good afternoon. It is a privilege for me to be participating at CONAPLIN15 Conference 2022 to share the findings of our research. In this occasion, I will be the oral presenter for a research paper entitled Digital Native Assessment Skill, Revisiting the Concept of Digital Nativeness from Teachers' Responses, co-authored by me, Fitri Agustin, and Ahmad Bukhari Muslim from Universitas Pendidikan Indonesia. Without any further ado, we would like to start from the background of the study. Well, it has been widely agreed upon that the world we currently inhabit is entirely digital. The existence of human being is structured by a wide variety of digital activities, which has led into unavoidable dependence on digital cognitive augmentation. Provided by context-specific tools such as laptop computers, online databases, three-dimensional virtual simulations, online collaboration tools, digital cognitive enhancement is a reality in every profession, even in non-technical fields such as law and humanities. In the classroom, education has also changed away from more traditional methods toward the use of technology. Multimodal, collaborative, and polysynchronous modes of interaction between teachers and students are made possible by the integration of ICT. According to Pransky's dichotomy, teachers are categorized into digital native and digital immigrant. They are identified from their significant gap in the levels of digital literacy. Referring to Pransky's characterization, Howlett and Musa considered digital immigrants as those who are older than 35 years of age, are resistant to picking up new technologies, and have tendency to perform negative attitudes toward mobile devices, while those who are digital natives are those who are younger than 35 years of age, share digital native characters with students, and look headed towards increasing technology integration. However, although Pransky's definition is commonly referenced, his definition of digital natives based on their birth year has been disputed. There has been no consensus achieved among scholars about the identity of digital natives. As a result, there is a growing chorus of voices advocating for more precise depiction of digital natives. There is a growing corpus of academic research that has called into question the validity of the general interpretation of digital native notion. Numbers of research has been done to attempt to determine who exactly constitutes a digital native. In the investigation, factors that are associated with digital natives such as technology, age, experience, and digital literacy level. In literature, digital native assessment emerged as an instrument that was designed by Theo to determine the degree to which an individual has acquired the skills of digital natives, and several studies provided empirical evidence to validate the DNS as a self-report measure. Applied to data from three distinct populations, for example, university teachers in China, student and pre-service teachers in Turkey, and college students in France, the model structure and DNS were determined to be satisfactory fit. However, the findings of these studies showed that digital native traits displayed were not in the typical age range for the digital native. Therefore, it raises questions about the notions of digital natives. So as a result of the incongruity in the conclusion, it is required to perform further evaluation of DNS with more population, different population at different research sites. So this current study tried to fill in the gap by examining 78 Indonesian secondary school teachers' responses to DNS to contribute to the ongoing dispute regarding the validity of DNS, which Wilson had previously reported in literature. Wilson study with 178 participants in 3 teacher preparation programs in the United States confirmed that the data do not fit this verified DNS instrument. This kind of study aims to explore Indonesian teachers' responses to DNS to revisit the conceptualization of digital natives in Asian context, specifically in Indonesian context. This research was conducted using an explanatory sequential mixed method research design, which consisted of initial quantitative survey followed by semi-structured interview, with the emphasis being placed on the quantitative portion of the research. 78 English teachers from 15 secondary schools in Lampung joined this research. For the procedure, we had quantitative phase and qualitative phase. In the quantitative phase, the NAS instrument was administered online to 78 respondents to determine teachers' level of digital nativity and to identify the most claimed attribute of the DNS. The most significant score of each DNS attribute gathered from the survey served as the initial quantitative data for the qualitative phase of the study. To gain a deeper understanding of the survey result, we interviewed 2 teachers of the 78 respondents to confirm their agreement as well as their disagreement with the most significant attribute of DNS. 2 questions were delivered to elicit their perceptions of digital native conceptions. Based on the quantitative phase, it was revealed that under the attribute of grow up with technology, the first attribute of DNS, most claim statement is most teachers use the internet every day. Under the second attribute, comfortable with multitasking, most claim statement is teachers are able to use more than one application on the computer at the same time. Under the third attribute, reliant on graphics for communications, most claim statement, teachers prefer to receive messages with graphics and icons. And under the fourth attribute, most claim statement, most teachers prefer to learn those that can be used quickly first. When we confirm the results of this survey to the teachers being interviewed in the study, for the first attribute, the 2 teachers agreed with the statement. But for teacher 1, she mentioned that she used the internet more for leisure activities, while for teacher 2, she used the internet more for her jobs. Under the second attribute, both of the teachers agreed that they were multitasking. However, teacher 1 considered herself not really multitasking when it deals with technology. Teacher 2 identified herself multitasking because she was exposed to a lot of digital technology and digital application. Under the third attribute, prefer to receive messages with graphics and icons, both teachers agree with this. However, teacher 2 highlighted that it depends on the formality of the message. And for the fourth attribute, the 2 teachers agreed that they prefer to learn those that can be used quickly first. They like everything happens instantly, and they like to get things in a quick way. From the interview, asking them about how they identify themselves, teacher 1 identified herself as a digital native in some context. However, she doesn't really consider herself as digital native because she still has problems in dealing with something new about digital technology. Teacher 2 claimed herself a digital native because her working condition shaped her digital nativity. In conceptualizing digital native, teacher 1 mentioned digital native is someone who is able to do any kinds of job regarding digital technology. And to be a digital native, she proposed that ones need to get lots of exposure of digital technology or digital application. Teacher 2 conceptualized digital native as someone who is able to utilize technology to help him or her with daily activities. She also mentioned that she disagreed that digital natives should be those who were born after the 1980s. In her view, digital native doesn't count on the birth year. It depends on the familiarity with digital technology. So based on the quantitative and qualitative data we gathered from the study, we would like to draw that validated by DNS, digital nativeness is valid only in terms of established ICT tools. Teachers are considered to be digital native as they are able to adapt to new technology and can utilize the ICT tools provided. And here we found out that age is no longer a valid variable to evaluate digital natives, as Bennett and Menton already mentioned in 2010. The NAS continues the dialogue on the digital native, but may not be universally applicable. Therefore, variables deserve further consideration to characterize digital native. As it is mentioned by Huang, it can be in form of teaching experience or use of teaching and use of teaching with technology. So based on the results of our study, we would like to conclude that the results of the survey and the semi-structured interviews with the teachers validated the different preferences for the attributes of DNS in terms of established ICT tools. The results from DNS corroborated Wilson's claim that DNS may not address the features of digital natives. Why? Digital native characteristics occur across regions, age, gender, and technology literacy. So it is not determined only by the age variable. EFL teachers of the current study are categorized as digital native teachers, even though nearly half of them were born before the 1980s. So this study recommends that future research in the realm of educational technology and beyond should concentrate on different ways of conceiving the concept of digital natives. Well, that's the end of our presentation. We would be glad to have a discussion with you in the Q&A session for the improvement of our study. Thank you for listening. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.